Today we are meeting with I don't know. It was a thought experiment, just a little small presentation. I want to present this deck live post-pandemic. The past week and the week before, I was connecting with different professionals, asking for their opinions, what they think, what are the trends, on the job market and in the world. And yeah, here's like a consolidation of all the insights. So today I want to talk about like embracing uncertainty, trends in the world of work, and some other trends. So first of all, what do I mean by embracing the uncertainty? Right? We don't know what is going to happen, and that is okay. Like I've been working with many employers, many companies out there. I was meeting startup founders, and yeah, that is the reality, right? Not only like on the other side, I'm working with job seekers. But the thing is, like, job seekers are not and this is, I guess, very important for them to understand that they are not the only one cohort of people who are kind of feeling lost, but actually many businesses out there also feel the same. So, like, for example, startup founders, right? There are, I would say, like three different kinds of people that I met. The people who did really, really well within this crisis, right? They kind of froze their hiring and put everything on hold, but they kind of minimized their damage. And the companies that had damage, they got to lay off people. And there are also startup founders out there who actually became job seekers, right? The business didn't do really well. And then right now they're looking for a job. But the questions are, what are the changes in the future that is coming? What has to be done to prepare for the future? And how do we instill a sense of normality, get a sense of meaning, right, in our life right now? So, as I said, like, especially in my line of job, right, I'm working with job seekers on one side, with employers on the others. So I want to talk about several things for three things for job seekers and three things for employers. Right, for job seekers, I think their focus should lie on upscaling, networking, and job search. By upscaling, I mean use this time to invest in learning. LinkedIn Learning is a good option, right? There are some courses that you can put on your resume and that would look nice, and also that actually you will learn a valuable skill that during the interview you can bring up and say that, hey, I wasn't wasting my time during this crisis, right? I was upgrading myself. Networking, everybody's online, everyone has time. We're trying to help each other. There are many people out there who share their passion, their kindness. Please connect on LinkedIn with people. And regarding job search, I do have like, especially with like 3 weeks of the remote work in, like all the most painful phase of transition already passed. So there are companies that are slowly trying to get back to normal, start to hire. There are jobs out there. I do have some jobs. Some of my colleagues and coworkers and contacts have jobs. Yeah, we there are companies that are hiring. For the employers out there, I would like to say that talking with people who hire, right? Um, First, there is a big transformation of management and a lot of confusion around that. There is no like for managers out there, you're not managing remotely, you're managing in times of crisis, right? This is a quote by one of the startup founder that I've uh, well had an honor to listen to during the webinar, right? There is really no playbook of what's happening, and yeah, we really hate this word unprecedented, right? But this is what's going on right now. The decision making. So there is some trends of how companies will be changing and how the companies will be approaching decision making. First of all, lots of companies will start looking into data-driven decision making, investing more in R&D, investing more in market research. Now is a good time to talk to people. People are willing to share their opinions on how and like let's say mm, Well, regardless of like it's of course will be kind of more related to the specificity of your own business, but yes, like when we started to talk about the companies who are in marketing right now, yes, we're talking about, for example, marketing, right? We're talking about the investment in R&D and more intensive research. Company brand, right? So this is another trend that is happening right now. There can be many talks about the company culture, but at the end of the day, when the crisis started, we started to see that the company culture is actually the way a company treats its people. This is this the way the company treats people right now will define the company brand in the future. Many companies out there are rethinking their purpose. So let's say if we think about companies like um, uh, companies that organize, let's say concerts, right, or some kind of events, live sports, for example. There is definitely a trend of like right now they need to step back and reposition themselves and understand like what kind of value they cater to the audience. So continuing this topic of trends in the world of work, I just want to say, yeah, networking is definitely a wave, right? The companies that facilitate networking will do well. That's the one that I've been attending a lot, Tech TO. If you haven't had a chance, please go and explore. They have this new amazing feature of speed dating networking where you can randomly match with professionals and yeah, talk for 3 minutes, right? Another trend that's happening right now is video calling strangers, right? For now, like before, we thought that I'm gonna video call only my friends and my family, but right now there is a perception shift, and we actually understand it that that is our new normal, right? That a video call to a stranger is no different from walking into the room and initiating a small talk. So this is something that is happening right now. Travel expenses, this will be another trend. I assume that, oops, sorry, many companies will start to question the travel expenses of the employees once we get used to these video calls, right? There's no need to travel. So many businesses that can be done without a physical contact, yeah, they will be reconsidered. Next trend, the need for secure access to networks. So you saw what was happening with Zoom, right? They had really great March, and then everything imploded, right? So they were not able to keep up, and now they have all these problems. So yes, all the businesses, all the companies that provide different VPN and cybersecurity solutions, they will thrive. Next one is as you saw the first week, like 3 weeks ago when everything started, right? So we realized that many companies were not prepared, and we like the company started to realize that they need some kind of contingency plan. So right now there is this kind of transition of how do we come up with a strategy that will allow us to save costs without sacrificing the quality of the service. HR transformation. So we are working all remotely, and fewer people in the office means there are a few issues, right, with all the kind of human-to-human interaction and all the problems that come with it. So HR departments will be able to allocate their time better, right? They will be able to kind of focus more on other and probably more essential things. Uh, Commercial real estate costs, that's another trend, right? It's very expensive to run an office, the electricity, the cleaning, and all the maintenance, rent, and other stuff. Once we get used to the idea of remote work, right, the demand will start to decrease. Gig work reconsidered, so definitely freelance will be revisited, right? Many people uh, especially all the Gen Zs and millennials, right? They will start looking uh, into freelance again as an additional source of income. Yeah, when the table stands on one leg of their job and then something happens to their job, the table falls. So when the table falls on four legs, something happens to one, we are kind of still have a chance to stay on our feet, right? Stay stable. Some new industries will rise, or yeah, so of course, medical protective equipment, that's understandable, logistics, supply chain solutions, and some companies like private labs that are competing right now for making a vaccine. So what kind of other trends are we talking about? Online shopping and delivery, right? Unfortunately, yeah, here in Canada, it is likely underdeveloped. I hope there will be some progress in this kind of area, and there will be adequate delivery systems implemented. Video content creation, right? There is a trend. Baby boomers consume. There was recently an infographic online on LinkedIn as well. Like they're like 44% of Generation Z's are consuming content, video content, right? Millennials about 38, 8ish, and so the point is that more and more people consume video content online, and like we used to think that LinkedIn as well was not a thing for the video, but as you probably start to notice, it's changing, and video marketing becomes a thing. Rethinking mental health, this is another trend. We start to finally treat mental health as health. Once we kind of everyone experienced on their own skin what it means like to stay in self-isolation. So yeah, there will be some developments in this area. More automation. This is something everyone should be prepared of. Automation was already, I think, like a couple of years ago, right? The 10% of Australian graduates were preparing for the jobs that wouldn't exist in like 10 years. But right now, companies would start to focus on this even more, how to augment workforce with machines. Um, Definitely, as with automation, as with virus, as with unemployment, the layer of the society with the struggles that suffers from the lack of education, right? They will be the first to take the fall, to suffer from this problem. Yeah, this kind of it requires a separate conversation, but I know that many people will start to look into kind of revisiting the concept of universal basic income. There are some problems that UBI doesn't solve, like automation, and yeah, uh, I guess I would leave it in for a separate conversation. But yeah, if you're interested, take a look at the concept, and it's a good food for thought, and just for like in the framework of the recent event. Yeah, that's it for today. The future depends on what we do in the present. I like this quote by Gandhi, and uh, let's do our best. Let's stay together. Let's help each other. Let's not act from fear. Let's all refuse to act from fear, and more focus. Like this time is given to us to kind of look into ourselves better, to our own hearts, into our own minds. When all the non-essential stuff will start to exfoliate and fade away and die away, and this is a great time. A part of me is definitely celebrating all what's happening. So um, let's all act individually towards building a better future. This time is given us for meditation, for understanding who we are as individuals and who we are all as one. And yeah, what trends do you predict? I would really love to hear from you. Send the comments, and yeah, I would love to hear your ideas. Stay safe, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one.